I know I'm a content creator, I'm a streamer, I'm the e-boy, I'm the YouTuber. I have to come on guys to our Pro Tour watch party. I just can't. You know what I mean? I just can't do it. MKM has been out for a while. There have been it has been a really awesome set for constructed. A lot of people they should talk the power level of MKM, and I really don't get it. I feel like it's been like, for a standard set, a really deep well of like stuff for modern. And one card that's like been on the list for a long time to work on is Snarling Gorehound. Gifted Unit to 26 months. Thank you. Appreciate you. Welcome back. No jokes. I think it fits really well into this Cauldron Zombies deck we've played a bunch of over the last few... I don't know. I actually don't know how long we've been playing this deck. Maybe like 6 months or something. But this is like a really resilient black-based aggro deck that is trying to use Carrion Feeder, Carrion Feeder plus Bloodghast plus Sister Supplier, plus Gravecrawler plus Priest plus Cauldron. I know I guess I'm just listing all the names of the cards, but it's like a weird Cauldron aggro deck where Cauldron can both just like give your big +1 countered Carrion Feeder Walking Ballista's ability. In the past, we've played Stacklight Stalker, which I kind of cut the Gorehounds for. Or you're going to try to be giving Priest of the Forgotten Gods ability to stuff, and then when you can give Priest ability to something with Cauldron, things can go really, really crazy. When I'm wanting to put Gorehound into the deck, one thing that I really wanted to play was Vengevine. Having like 12 cards that you can either surveil with Gorehound or mill into the yard with Supplier or discard to Lotleth Troll, though I guess we're not quite there yet, talking about the trolls, is a really, really big deal. Like, it makes your Suppliers and Gorehounds just so sick, where you have 12 cards in the deck that you're just so like, you're basically +1 card when you get to dump these into the graveyard. Vengevine specifically is just like the most powerful of all of them. And I really like that because this deck already wants to play Walking Ballista to kind of pair with your Agatha's Soul Cauldron to have some like combo S style finishers. Then you also have these starts where you'll go like turn 1 Stitcher Supplier, mill a Vengevine, to just play a Ballista for 0, get a Vengevine back. Sometimes you'll also be able to go Lotleth Troll on turn 2, discard a Vengevine, Ballista on 0, get the Vengevine back. I tested a lot of different builds. I was really trying to play Insidious Roots in this deck for a long time. And I'm kind of surprised that Roots didn't end up making the cut. But I ended up finding that, like, because you're not playing Cookbook in this deck, like, you just have to end up going Roots Go on turn 2 so many times. Roots Go. And I found that, like, that made the deck, like, significantly slower, less explosives, and easier to interact with, unfortunately. Despite Roots being a pretty reasonable card, I ended up also to some extent I kind of just wanted all of my other 2-drops more. Like Priest is a really important card to be playing right now, in this kind of deck especially. But in general, with all of the Leyline Science stuff, Priest is like probably better positioned now than it ever has been. You know, we've been doing well with Smallpox, Liliana. Let's play the other edicts that we've played in the past, right? And it's really, really important to play in this deck specifically, because if you're going to play a creature-based aggro deck like this, you need a way to beat the Leyline Scion stuff, because some strategies just completely fold to it. And having access to Priest is really nice. I've also been loving the Seed of Hopes. Seed of Hope is just like a great consistency enabler that sometimes you basically draw an extra card. The 2 life on it is like surprisingly relevant. It lets you get away with playing 18 lands. It lets you get away with only playing 3 Cauldrons, because you just get to like dig so deep for it. With Gorehound, you can like surveil really deep, keep the Seed of Hope, then Seed of Hope into whatever it is you're trying to dig for. It's been a really, really nice tool. I'm favoring Haywire Mite over Pick Your Poison in the sideboard because of the synergies with Gorehound and Agatha's Soul Cauldron. The numbers there could be a little different. That's one thing I wanted to highlight. But the deck's been pretty good too. Let's just get going. Just another Magic Monday with the 14 months. Thank you. Welcome back. With Gravecrawlers, Boseiju is questionable. I mean, with 16 black 1-drops, Boseiju is pretty questionable. We also have a Witch's Cottage in our deck. I think Boseiju is like probably unplayable. We also have Bloodghast. Yeah, a lot of Troll's been pretty good. Like, you have a lot of stuff to discard for value. It's also like one thing about playing Vengevine, right? Is you can't play Vengevine without discard effects. This is something like Vengevine and other builds kind of looks interesting. You need discard effects. Lotleth Troll is kind of the best one for this deck. It's an activated ability for Cauldron. So even if you have Troll in the yard and Vengevine in hand, if you have Cauldron, you can Cauldron the Troll ability to discard your Vengevines. The +1 counters you get from the Troll can be used for Walking Ballista damage if you could Cauldron Ballista onto Troll. So it's pretty nice. Go to mediocre 7. Let's go ahead and go to 6. This hand's a lot better. I think we'll put back the Cottage here. Ares, West your name right. Thank you for the 20 months. Appreciate you. Getting thoughts seized. Probably taking Cauldron or Troll. Next trophy race except damage. I'm not committing to a trophy race at the moment. There's a good chance there will never be another trophy race. Just like I say this a lot, but like a big part of why I did one last time was that there was no organized play to like focus on or work towards, and now there is organized play, and so it's kind of there's like a lot less of a reason to try to do a trophy race, but maybe one day, and maybe not ever again. Okay, let's go to Graveyard the Swamp. We could keep it and go like turn 2 Cauldron, turn 3 Troll plus Gorehound, or Gorehound plus I guess Troll first to discard the Vengevine. Swamp Takenuma, another Thoughtseize. Not surprised they have another Thoughtseize if they took the 1-drop there. Is there not a companion for all cards of permanence? No, there's not. There's a Mori, which is all cards of the same type. Okay, so they take the Cauldron. Which makes sense. If they take the Troll, I can, Cauldron that activated ability. Alright, let's go to play the Troll this turn. Swinnote the 42 months. Appreciate you, homie. Welcome back. Easily splash for Nahiri, the best card to harbor. I do miss Nahiri. Did I play any Nahiri in the Beanstalk metagame? I remember I wanted to. Ooh. Is that a good top deck? Remember to stack your Surveil trigger after the mill trigger from Citrus Supplier resolves. Nice to do this after double Thoughtseize. Mill 2 Bloodghasts. And we get to Graveyard of Vengevine off the Gorehound. Plus, kind of almost plus 3 cards. Although I guess it'll be a little while before we get to bring this Vengevine back, probably. These mono black decks typically main deck Cling. Yeah, Coffers tends to have 1 or 2 Cling. In the non-Coffers build I've been playing 1. Okay, so they Legend Roll Takenuma. Then they play a Ring. They're only at 4 life, though. Best draw would be... I guess Ballista wouldn't quite... A Cauldron... I don't have a Ballista for Cauldron, and then Ballista by itself is only 1 damage. Land brings back the Bloodghasts. Although, I would prefer it to be a fetch land so I could, like, protect via Damnation. Seems like I should probably play this, and then... maybe Surveil into a land for the Bloodghast if we're trying to play around Damnation. Yeah, I'm going to Graveyard that. Ballista prevents the 3rd ring draw if they have a super. That's true, yeah. Okay, so they probably need, like, Coffers into another ring here, and then, like, Karn after that. They didn't have Coffers last turn, though. Probably love Timeless Spikes with Outlaws and last set for show until Raymate Force of Vigor. Yeah, I've been seeing some buzz about that. I haven't looked too closely, to be honest, at the cards, but for Timeless, but I'm gonna have to soon, I guess. Citing this matchup's kind of interesting. I think in general, Priest of the Forgotten Gods is slow and hard to untap with, and they don't have that many creatures for us to Edict. I don't know if I want to play 0 copies, because Shieldred is kind of weak to this card. They only have a couple copies of Shieldred, and we can also try to ignore it. I think the first copy of Priest is probably fine. Maybe we'll play 2. The card is also good in the deck. Needles tend to be very good against them. I think I'm okay just to bring in both Needles. I also want to have... on the draw, maybe I would play 4 Fulminator. On the play, I play 4 Fulminator. On the draw, maybe we'll play 3. Um, and then typically, like, if I'm bringing in a ton of sideboard cards, I'm kind of down to trim Seed of Hope to, like, maintain some consistency here. Which is kind of weird because Seed of Hope is a consistency enabler, but like I feel like I just need the numbers. It's so hard to cut any number of these 1-drops. It's very hard to cut Bloodghast. It's very hard to cut Troll because of Vengevine. It's very hard to cut Cauldron. You can trim Priest sometimes, so it's like it's mostly like the Seed of Hopes that like just kind of by default are getting cut. Priest without Tyvar looks very slow. You do have Tyvar. Your Tyvar is a better version of Tyvar. It's called Agatha's Soul Cauldron. It's like Tyvar, except it's a good playable card. Instead of being a weak 3-mana Planeswalker. You do have Tyvar. I've also played a ton of this archetype, and we've done pretty well with it over the months. Runs into multi-6 on the play. I think I might just Surveil here. It's kind of weak to Gorehound. Let's keep this on top. Or is it kind of weak to Bowmasters? One with nothing got add Timeless. Any new brews. Hell, wait, one with nothing? Why? Timeless, please, or Arena, please. Please, can we get Pioneer on Arena? Can we please get Pioneer on Arena? We got one with nothing. Can we get, I guess Optimus might be on now. Can we please put Pioneer on Arena? Dying out here. No, which I know, but you can have reanimated show and tell. So they march me here. It's pretty important to keep them off 4 mana. It's also important to kill the Urborg. We'll just take a turn off to Fulminator Mage them, and then next turn, you know, whenever we feel ready, we can go Troll, discard Vengevine, Gorehound, hit them with the Vengevine. Also sets up to draw Cauldron better. Is Oath still not on there? They still have the Lotus deck. Yeah, they literally just have to print Hidden Strings. Although everyone hates that deck, so it's maybe just like makes sense. I don't know. Interesting. All right, not gonna waste time floating mana here. And kill my Troll. I could have played the Ballista to keep the regen up on Troll. That might have been better. Why the choice of going green-black instead of mono-black with Bowmaster and stuff? I mean, Bowmaster is still not a card I'm super excited to register in a modern deck. It's not the worst, but it's not like kind of one of the top cards I'm trying to play. If you're playing Gorehound and Vengevine also just play super well together. Like if you're playing the Gorehound, which is the card I think is a nice upgrade for this archetype, and you have 4 Gorehound, 4 Supplier, having like 12 really good creatures to mill over is a super valuable thing. Which is in Vengevine is like the best thing by a lot. Lotleth Troll fits into the deck really well. Counters for Cauldron Ballista. You need a way to discard Vengevine, you know. I did a deck tech also this morning, but we've played a bunch of the mono black build also to some extent. This build I think just wants to be green black. Okay, graveyard here. I could Cottage. Just name the One Ring. More like the 1 ping, they're taking a damage every turn. Yeah, Gorehound and Bowmaster's good together. I mean, obviously, like, it's good that there's some reasons to be mono black instead, but just to some extent, like, then this maybe should just make sense, right? Like, I would rather play all of these 2 mana spells over any number of Bowmasters, and also if you play mono black, you need to play like 1 more land, maybe 2 more lands, and the 4th Cauldron a lot of the time. But if you go green black, you can play 4 Seed of Hope instead, which I think is a really nice way to maintain some consistency. Okay, so no longer the 1 ping. Did I keep a land on top for Vengevine? Okay, we'll definitely graveyard this Bloodghast. Thank you, Gorehound. I would just not play Vengevine. Yeah, you build the deck however you want. I think the Vengevines are awesome in this deck though. 2 cards in their hand. Did you ever play Lotleth Troll Chalk on Daredevil combo? I didn't. I ended up thinking that it just wasn't going to be very competitive. Could be wrong. Wish Souls of Lost could find out. Well, we played Souls of Lost in this shell. Like the mono black shell is basically these are Bowmasters. The Vengevines are Souls of the Lost. This is 4th Cauldron, 4th Ballista, 19th Land, and like 1 Berserker. Typically, I guess, is that last card I play. So let's go Supplier first. If we mill another Bloodghast, we get to... Or sorry, Vengevine, we get to bring it back. Remember, trigger the Supplier mill first. Would like to keep a land on top. Okay, we do keep a land on top. I would imagine playing the second Ballista is... Yeah, it's gonna be way worse because I want to keep the other. I want to keep it in hand. So if they go like Damnation this turn or whatever, then I can go like Hardcast Vengevine, 0 mana Ballista, bring back Vengevine. Looks like they have March of Wretched Sorrow to kill the Vengevine, so we're gonna get to take that line next turn to bring back the Bloodghast too. So the other card is another Coffers. So I should probably respond to the Surveils and then Witch's Cottage something. Should it just be another Vengevine? So if I'm attacking for 7 this turn down to 11, the other Vengevine is exactly lethal next turn. I guess I get 2 more off the Bloodghast. So we can target Ballista instead. Let's just yeah, another Vengevine. Oh, I could also surveil the... Could have surveilled the Vengevine, but... Sorry, what am I talking about? Okay, alright. Get in for 7. Lethal next turn. Opponent's got no cards in their hand. Needs a huge top deck here. I guess a counter on Ballista was also lethal. Counter on Ballista was lethal and played around March. Wait, you wanted me to not cast Vengevine this turn or not put Vengevine on top? I feel like this was just fine. Looks like they maybe did draw March. Like, March is going to be a top deck that stabilizes them. I guess not no matter what, huh? Okay, they top deck Karn. So if they have Ensnaring Bridge, we probably going to lose. Kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm kind of shocked how long it took them to just cast the freaking Karn, whatever. How long this line took. Let's go to game 3. Frustrating. Alright, let me bring in a single Haywire Mite. Although Mite is kind of awkward if I can't kill the Karn. Don't think I can really play Pick Your Poison, though. It rots in your hand forever. Alright, keep this on the play. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe you have to play Pick Your Poison for bridge. But also, like, a lot of time, like, they have to have Karn, like, no cards in hand. A lot of times you'll be able to kill the Karn. Good against Ring. We could also Needle Karn just preemptively, and then we'd never have to face the bridge. Zero Besage. Yeah, look at the cards in my deck. I don't want to land that only taps for green. Okay, so we have Cauldron Fulminator Mage. Hopefully my opponent isn't on the all swamp plan this game. I was looking at my sideboard before casting Karn, maybe I'm accidentally beaming. I don't know, at least in that, it's okay, it's whatever. But in that spot, you know, you have like 10 mana, you top deck Karn. Just cast the card first, maybe. But I'm overly whining also. Fortunately, opponent on only basic so far. Lead on the Supplier. Interesting. Let's sack the Supplier here. No, the Bloodghast and a Gravecrawler. So let's cast the Gravecrawler before they could possibly remove my zombie that's in play. Bring back the Bloodghast. Okay, love that for us. Making sure we didn't have an Besage is pretty common. Yeah, I know. It's just we already have the Besage talk, so I just tried a little shorter, I guess. But yeah, we've already had the Besage talk. It's just not really possible in this build, I think. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and target Carrion Feeder first, I think. Pass back. Usually favorable 11 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Is Ancient one good? Might be good. Kind of a big... I feel like... Is Gorehound not great in your deck? You're also a... Yeah, I feel like Gorehound has got to be better than Satyr Wayfinder. It's likely better than Stalker, too. Stalker's, like, somewhat playable. Yeah, your deck also could play Mori in the main. Or is it Companion, which is probably worth it. Unless you... But it's also... Is it, like, even correct to have no non-creatures? Like, is... I'm gonna Cauldron the counter on the Bloodghast here. Hopefully, I don't have a second Cling to Dust. Yeah, I would love to see 4 Gorehounds in the stack. I hate Satyr Wayfinder. I think the card sucks. I think you need to play 19 lands almost definitely, maybe 20 in your crab deck. Probably 20. And especially for cutting the Wayfinders, like -3 Wayfinders, +2 lands. And cut those Stalkers for the Gorehounds. Okay, so we're gonna go sack the Bloodghast. Deny the life gain. Hit them for 4. Then I get to go Fulminate their Field of Ruin. Marsh Flats, bring back Bloodghast. Sack Bloodghast to Gravecrawler. Don't think there's anything I want to call or Cottage. I'll just Surveil. Doesn't seem particularly good or bad. The region's okay, I guess. I could play one more Mite. Used to play push, need something against Dauthi except for Stalker. Against Scam, I tend to think it's nice to play. Oh, we always play against Scales when we play this archetype. Scales is kind of tough. We have a couple Needles. We have a bunch of Haywire Mites. We have Voidwalkers. Pick your Poison's okay. It's kind of mid against them. Priest is good, but it's a lot better if you're on the play. Oh, for the deck, I see. Yeah, but you can play Feed the Swarm as your anti-scam card because it hits Leyline in the Void and Dauthi Voidwalker, which is like pretty unique. Kind of the only card that does that. Well, they have a crazy start. Or a great start against us. Sultai Roots Trophy. Chase Friends Prodigy, Crypt Breaker. What the hell? 1 Aftermath Analyst. 7 3-drops with 20 lands is wild. Loam is wild. Unearth with 0 3-mana creatures. Because you have two M's. This list is crazy. Wait, there's an Oracle? I guess there's got to be some loop. So they're making a Cauldron or a zombie token this turn. Oh, sorry. What kind of token is this? This is a construct token. All draw's been pretty bad. Feeling like we're not in shape to win this game. Unearth gets Grist, I guess Oracle is for Dredge plus Jace loops. Yeah, I guess so. With Tyvar in play also. But doesn't Jace flip? I don't know. List is things a little too all over the place. Could be wrong. When I was playing Roots deck, I was really unhappy with the 3-mana Planeswalkers. I feel like they were just like too high on the curve. You just can't play very many of them was what I felt, and they're playing 7, so I don't know. Did you play a 4-4 split with neutral like Frog in this deck? It doesn't matter. Like, you cannot make any deck building decision. You can't be like, okay, when MH3 comes out, I'm going to splash blue instead of green, and I'm going to play main deck Needle. I'm going to splash blue instead of green, and I'm going to play the Frog instead of the Troll, or I'm going to play both. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen yet. There's just going to be way too many variables when it comes to MH3. The entire format is going to be new. 11 sideboard cards is a little bit more than I feel like super comfortable boarding in, but it feels like I have to have all of these in. So let me cut the Lotleth Troll Vengevine package and play 1 Seed of Hope. I think it's just kind of fine. You just should not be like planning. Maybe play 1 Fulminator over 1 Ballista. Ballista's kind of bad if they have their own Cauldron, right? You should not be planning for how you're going to upgrade your deck for MH3 yet. The entire format is going to be different. Do you think this archetype will want Satoro? Maybe. Had a Lamplight deck the other day. We were 9-1 with the Lamplight deck the other day. So they went Caverns, Pitch Grove. You can play for Outlaws. Or plan for Outlaws. So you can get a Gorehound or a Supplier. I think because we don't have that many creatures to surveil with at the moment, we'll just take the Supplier. I'm going to lead on the Voidwalker here. It's super good against them to turn off their Cauldron plan, to turn off their modular and their Hangerback Walkers too. Yeah, Satoro in this kind of deck does sound super fun. So they find another Patchwork Automaton. And then they Legend Rule their Gemstone Caverns. Now they no longer have green mana necessarily. Thank you, 2 life from Seed of Hope. Although I guess, I don't know, we shocked. Okay, 0 mana, 2 counters. Guess that's fine. Let's Supplier first, see if we find any Priest of the Forgotten Gods or anything. We find Ballista and 2 Bloodghasts. So I think what I should do is I should play Carrion Feeder this turn. Sack the Supplier first. And then I just want to get a gigantic Carrion Feeder that I can Cauldron Ballista onto. Might have just a lethal next turn. Oh, another 3rd Bloodghast. Surveil Land, nice little upgrade in the stack, huh? I guess I should also probably just sack both Bloodghasts now to get the Carrion Feeder out of Dismember range. I won the Modern Challenge with the Asmolus I was going to show you. Yeah, I'll take a look. So they have a Needle to throw a wrench in my plan, I guess. Still 6/6. Think they'll ever be a tier 1 cookbook Roots deck? Maybe, I don't know. I think the Jund list that we've been playing is pretty good. They didn't attack. I'm pretty happy with that. So I have another Carrion Feeder in my graveyard. So I can go Agatha's Soul Cauldron, target Carrion Feeder, put it on the Dauthi Voidwalker, then bring back 3 Bloodghasts, then attack with both. I'm okay to trade Carrion Feeder for the bigger patchwork here. Sec. This may be the biggest Dauthi Voidwalker you've ever seen. Do we cottage anything? Oh, they concede. I don't think I was cottaging anything there. Great, that was a nice game too. I think our sideboard plan makes sense. I have no idea how to evaluate this card. Oh, this is an EDH card, I think. It's very good with Voha. Oh yeah. You just alternate the pronunciation every time. It's just not like a constructed card at all. Like this 4-mana enchantment that I guess it deals 5 on ETB. Maybe it could be a standard card. I have a hard time evaluating like standard power level stuff typically. I think I'll just lead on the feeder here. Stompy. I'll take a look at your challenge winning deck list. I'm happy to take a look. You don't have to wait for the cooldown. I appreciate the courtesy. I'm interested. Alright, let's just Haywire Mite the Saga here. Do I want to trade Carrion Feeder for Welding Jar, basically? Let's not. Okay, take a look at the Stompy's challenge-winning Asmodak. Oh, this is like the breakout build from the Hunter Burton. I don't know. I'm starting to think that maybe you can just be kind of comfy missing on breakout. But wouldn't you just want? What if you just play Dragon Rage's Channeler over Lightning Bolt? I guess you're kind of low on non-creatures, but you're still a Bobble deck. Also, how good is Wormlet? So they needle my Carrion Feeder here. So this turn, I think I want to go Needle Arcbound Ravager and then cast Priest. And I guess I can also attack with my feeder. Now my 1/2 is bigger than all of their 1/1s. It looks cool though. It seems very similar to the Hunter Burton build. I love Wormlet cards so no. Yeah, Wormlet's maybe a lot better. I haven't really like seen it in action very often. Looks sick. I think there's a good chance that Galvanic Blast is better than Bolt, but I'm not sure. It's always been very close. Yeah, looks sick. I've been, we were 9-1 with Breakout in the Malia deck. I've been kind of trying to think if there's anything else you can do with Breakout, and I have not really found anything I'm super interested in yet, but I'll get there at some point. Oh yeah, well, yeah, why are there baubles in that deck? Because you're not playing Channeler. Yeah, shouldn't these just be creatures? I think Breakout's pretty dang good in the aggro deck. Yeah, I mean, it's undeniably good when it hits. The issue is, of course, just that it is very capable of bricking. Oh, for Wormlet? Okay. I guess that makes sense. So if they want to use their Zabaz or gain 2 life, they got to do it now. And then if they Haywire Mite the Needle, I get to gain 2. I also could Cauldron back Haywire Mite. Doesn't actually look that good on this board. I liked Epicer over Wormlet. Yeah, you can play Epicer over Bobble too. I mean, it's pretty bad hit off Breakout. The haste damage is huge. Yeah. The issue is, like, you're playing, like, how many hits do you have? You have 20 hits, right? And also, like, 4 of these hits are Oval Chase Daredevil. So, like, or you have 24 hits. If you have another Daredevil in your hand, it's pretty bad, but Well, yeah, we'll say you have 24 hits. You're probably bricking like 7% of the time. Successes 24, sample size 6, number of successes 1. It's usually how we do it. Oh, I guess a little bit less. You're bricking 3.7. And maybe that's just a fine number. I just have a hard time. Isn't it better to Bloodbraid activate first? No. We need this Dauthi Voidwalker in play to turn off this dying trigger, this dying trigger, this dying trigger, and kind of this dying trigger. I'm not going to tap this priest without first having this Voidwalker in play. 3.7 is acceptable brick chance. Yeah, it's a little high, but it's maybe just okay. Another thing too is also just like, wait, they're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna sack another creature, are they? Yeah. I'm gonna sack the Bloodghast in the Carrion Feeder main phase. I'm not going to Cottage anything either. Yeah, if you go !calc, it'll do a more magic focused hypogeometric calculator. Robots are back. Yeah, Scales I think is doing okay at the moment. 3.7 is not a hybrid chance WTF. I mean, you would like it a little lower. It's not high, but is this like optimal for constructed? I'm not sure. It's like ideally like it's close for sure. Another thing too is it's like if you have an Oval Chase Daredevil in your hand, hitting another Daredevil is like a brick. If you have an Inti in play or an Asmo in play, hitting another one of your Legend is a brick. So it's also like another issue is like your outs are just not that live. A lot of the time. You ever play Vintage Cube? Yeah, sometimes. We did some cubing on stream in between the challenge on Saturday. Texture gives you a cool breakout. The receiving force attack is bad. No, I don't think so. DRC usually is flying, so it's usually just gets through. It's really nice with Inti, I find. I wonder if they're gonna sack the Inkmoth Nexus here to the priest this turn. Sack the Welding Jar for a counter. I draw Agatha's Soul Cauldron, which I should probably use post-combat in case my opponent sacks their Ballista. Okay, so we go Delta, bring back Bloodghast. Priest, sack the 2 creatures that like to be sacked. They do go for the Inkmoth Nexus line here. We draw a Haywire Mite. So I'm going to cast the Cauldron. Cast the Mite. Blue-red Counterbird Miracles deck with Thunderous Wrath. It doesn't sound like it really would have a possibility of being playable. Counter burn strategies in general are pretty bad at the moment. Counter burn is Murktide or the Surveil Breach combo deck, and like neither are super well positioned. This sounds like it would be a lower power level, less consistent build. Sorry to be a wet blanket. Sounds very fun. Sounds super sick. If you enhance Surveillance and a Thunderous Wrath, you win a lot of style points at FNM. Standard RC. I am qualified this time for in Dallas. But yeah, I mostly just play the big ones. I don't know. I kind of don't know like what modern events are you watching that are being streamed that I could be playing in. I would love to be playing more Paper Modern. We're just gonna get Overgrown Tomb turn 1. It's not very likely, but there's a small chance I use one of these to get my Surveil land and one of these to use Cottage. Also, I could mill over both my Overgrown Tombs with the Supplier, I guess. I mill over Gravecrawler, Bloodghast, Walking Ballista. Ding, ding, ding. It's basically plus 3 cards. I guess the Ballista's not quite a card, but it's kind of close with this Cauldron in my hand. See, the Inti has me like one of the challenges. Yeah, the winner actually just posted the list. We're chatting about it. It looked really... I don't know if I said this, but the list looks pretty sick. Like, the archetype did kind of well at Hunter Burton recently, and it does just look kind of good. Nice Tide Shaper. Okay, pretty sure I'm gonna go for Cauldron this turn. So counter on the Supplier, attack for 1. And I want to ping main phase because of their instant, or on my turn, because of their instant speed lord. We also have Priest of the Forgotten Gods, which is a very hard card for them to deal with. Let's see what we pick up. Just a Delta. So we could Surveil this turn, but I'm probably just going to cast my Gravecrawler instead. Did the Hunterburn one have blue for Shredder? Is that the list you're talking about? No, it was like green-red breakout, Tarmogoyf. It's about Mingu's modern tier list. I mean, Mingu does one of those like almost every week. I can't recall. We didn't talk about it. We can talk about it. I think Mingu has good insights, typically. Dismember my Stitcher Supplier. Deal. I accept. Although I don't get my Gravecrawler back anymore, so I've goofed. Although now I can just Surveil. I can use Troll to get my Gravecrawler back next turn. Mingu really hates Super Mono Black deck. Well, he liked it before he played it, I guess. I don't know. That's fine. I think I almost feel like you can have like basically no two modern like mains agree on archetype like this. Like I think not having Domain Zoo be an A tier is very weird to me. Where I think it's like actually like pretty good against everything in A tier, and it's also like why is Domain Zoo not A tier when I think it's good against all three of these decks and it's more popular. But maybe I'm yeah, I don't know. I'm probably misunderstanding something. Murktide seems way too high to me, but Mingu also loves Murktide. You'll take a Gorehound here. Good to go. Hound into Troll into Gravecrawler. Thank you, Golden. Yeah, a lot of good feedback on the Humans of Magic interview. I don't know. I don't have big complaints besides I think Murktide's too high and Domain Zoo's too low. Is Zoo favored against Titan? I think it is, but maybe I'm misinformed. Maybe it's okay. Maybe Titan's favored. Creativity's too low. Yeah, I think so. But again, it's also just like Mingu ignore crit mill every time. Yeah, this is also like Mingu doesn't respect my pet deck enough, brother. I'm gonna save this for like multiple landfall triggers. Don't think I'm gonna Cottage anything. My pet deck is not on Mingu's tier list. It's a conspiracy by Amulet Titan. So graveyard another Gravecrawler. Guess that's why they call it Gravecrawler. I'll graveyard the Troll. It's like a cauldronable ability. It's not a particularly good draw next turn either. Yeah, I'll trade. Yeah, I saw Prowess win a challenge too. It's pretty cool. Yeah, where's my Gorehound Cauldron deck on Mingu's tier list, brother? He's been paid off by Big Murktide. So Cauldron on the Troll. Come on, let me have my fun. Okay, fine. Fair enough, Merfolk player. Okay, we're on the draw against Merfolk. My sideboarding. That is the nice thing about playing Merfolk is there's not that many sideboard cards that just wreck you. I could play a Haywire Mite. And I could also not do that. Alright, let's go. See Merfolk play like it's insult. I mean, I'm a Merfolk player. I wrote a big article about all the different what was it? The flavors of fish. I remember I had a good title for. I think it was all the flavors of fish. And I talked about the different Merfolk builds you could have in Modern, and like why you would choose each one for like different metagames. And it got good reception from the Merfolk community after that. They were like, although any amount of Merfolk coverage, you know, Merfolk mentioned, people love you. I remember I got a lot of good feedback from that article. Jay with the 41 months. Thank you. Welcome back. ZZZ with the 15. Wait, ZZZZ. Thank you for the 15. Yeah, people love Merton. There's nothing wrong. You know, that's what's beautiful about modern chat is everybody has a deck that they love a little irrationally, and I have a harem of decks that I enjoy way too much. This opponent's setting up for a Chishana's Tidebinder, huh? Let's start with the Supplier. Okay, Mill of Bloodghast is nice. So play this land. Seed of Hope, just +2 cards. Then I'm going to cast my Carrion Feeder. And I'm going to not activate my Priest right now. I probably will just not activate it until they tap out. Like, if they tap anything for their mana, I'll use the Priest. But let's just not play into Tidebinder unless we can figure out a way to play around it. Curse Totem is pretty obnoxious here. I guess we're gonna bring in some Pick Your Poisons. Thinking about maybe animating Mutavault and sacking that instead. So they're at 15. I have a Bloodghast in the yard. Don't have my other Overgrown Tomb in the yard. Okay, 4/3 haste. So there's no way to use the mana. Well, you can use the mana on your turn. In that spot, it's like we're playing around what I still think is a pretty likely Tishana's Tidebinder. Certainly sitting with the whole team here. If Vengevine dies in combat, it comes back post-combat. Opponent dies. Alright, Merfolk gamers. See you next time. Enjoy the seas. Okay, let's get a trophy prediction. The last 2 weeks have been awesome. I don't know that we can continue the kind of win streaks we've been having, but we're off to a good start this week for sure. I'll keep this. Yeah, it's all thanks to the Violent Outburst ban. I even think so too, to be honest, despite people shit talking. People like shit talking the Violent Outburst ban after like one day. It's like we don't know what the format's doing after one day. I feel like most people do Mimba Modern, not play Modern. Yeah, there was a really funny conversation we had last week where someone was like, I haven't played Modern competitively in 6 years, but it looks awful right now. And I was like talking about Modern in general at the moment, and ooh, please scam me. Please scam me. Site MTG, 12 months. Glad I won this freaking die roll. I was talking about it, and then someone's like, yeah, I haven't played Modern in 6 years, so I've got very strong opinions. You know what I mean? I kind of agree to some extent. But it's okay. You're also allowed to dislike it, and you're allowed to not having a good time. But you are not allowed to complain on my stream all the time about it. Okay, so they decide to just let the grief go, which I think is fine. I cast Bloodghast. Yeah, we're playing against Selfie, who's the trophy leader. Okay, opponent. I drew another card that kind of likes to be discarded here, I guess. This is a very funny game. I feel like this is not the first time I've done this to this opponent either. Okay, so we're going to bring back a Bloodghast and then Surveil end of turn. Maybe kind of difficult to trigger this Vengevine. Opponent's on a 1-land keep. I'll Surveil a land to the top, just, start attacking for 8. Carrion Feeder. Let's graveyard that. Nice. So I'm a little ahead on this race at the moment. Opponent does find land number 2. A lot of their cards are just discard spells, though. Not that I expect that's necessarily the hand at the moment. Where do I download the app? This is called Magic the Gathering Online. You can download. You can type download MTGO online and download it. It is only available on PC, but it's awesome because you get to play modern. Pretty good. Nice that our jaw lined that well up against the what seemed like I think they just said double grief scam. Is MTGO not at Mac? No, not unless you have a virtual machine. Also, decks cost $500. Well, I would recommend using a rental service, Mana Traders or Card Hoarder too. Not, but yeah. You also get to sell cards and for money instead of just buying all the stuff on Arena. Then, congratulations, you supported your small indie company. I'm gonna trim the third Ballista, I think, and then maybe 2 Seed of Hope, maybe 1 Seed, 1 Priest. Yeah, I don't really want to have 2 Priests in my opening hands. So just cut 1. Where's the Roots? I was testing Roots in this deck for a long time, and unfortunately, I kind of determined that the deck is just better without it. So this hand's pretty bad if our like Seed of Hope gets discarded. Let's go to Mulligan. Okay, keep this one. Yeah, you can do a PC virtual machine or Windows virtual machine for on your Mac if you want to play on your Mac. I don't know if there's another get around for it now. Do you want Dauthi versus the Undying Effects? No, I have Cauldron already for that kind of stuff, but also like the Undying Effects are turn 1s. So it's like Dauthi's just doesn't line that well up against their deck. They have lots of good answers for it. Opponent has Grief Scam both games here. That's why they're the trophy leader. Takes the Seed of Hope. I think I'll probably just Surveil turn 1 here. So I don't have to shock for my Seed of Hope. Into Urza Saga. Okay, I'll take a Priest. Okay, Bowmaster. Also, Grief Scam into Saga Bowmaster. Do they have land number 3? They don't have land number 3. Taking 4 down to 10. Pretty bad mills, I guess. Let me play a 1/1 Ballista, I suppose. They built a 5. They mulled a 6, I think. Yeah, we both mulled the 6 this game. Really not doing so bad. So that means you're getting racked, probably. Yeah. Well, we start drawing a bunch of cards with Priest. Maybe that's okay. Recognition's just amazing. Yeah, they're the trophy leader. They have 26 trophies this season, just kind of grinding this deck. I've also like played against this player a lot in this deck a lot, and I feel like there's something I'm not seeing. I mean, black-based decks in general are pretty good, but I don't know. I'm not as much of a believer in it, but Modern is also the type of format where you could just like build a strategy, master a strategy, and grind it like this. But it is thinking a lot. They might like needle my Priest too. Gets a Shadow Spear. Interesting. And equips the army so they can get in for 6 instead of... And play Endure Saga for turn. Okay, Shadow Spear makes more sense then. Let's take this hit. Another land sucks. Yeah, probably did. I think if we draw like any spell there, we're in like just so much better shape. Why don't we ping the army there? In response to the equip. Well, I wanted to have a second creature to sack to the priest. Yeah, maybe pinging the army was better though. Let's try to draw any creature. Here I think my plan kind of has to be double block then tap, right? don't think we're gonna be able to get out of this one. Can you shoot the Ballista and sacrifice the priest? No. Alright, let's go to game 3. Get you on the play. Like the mites. Kind of want 4th priest on the play. Obviously it's kind of fragile, but if you can have a simple priest plus cauldron, it's pretty nice. Alright, keep this. Lead on the Gorehound. Does my opponent have Grief Scam all 3 games in a row? No. Thankfully, no. Okay, let's just play Lotleth Troll into this Nile Spellbomb. I think I'm good to graveyard that. If they didn't have Nile Spellbomb, it's a little bit closer. Turn 2 Saga. Do I also discard this Gravecrawler? I think so. I need this troll to be bigger. Guess I should have brought on Pick Your Poison. Activated abilities of creatures cannot be activated. So let's take the Ballista so that I could maybe find a Vengevine here. On the Bloodghast. I'm going to go ahead and respond to this with a Surveil. Graveyard. Vengevine? No. So opponent doesn't have their land, we're in good shape. It's kind of asking for a lot. I'm not playing Beseiju. Maybe we should have one. I don't have one at the moment. Luminous, thank you for the 23 months. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. We have Pick Your Poisons to the side. Beseiju's so rough on the mana. Yeah, this has Menace. So they can block the Supplier, the Bloodghast, or the Troll. So they just take the hit. They go down to 5. Nothing I'd be interested in using the Cauldron, the Cottage on here. So is a +1 counter distributed to the creature of my choosing good against an opponent who puts a Shadow Spear on the construct this turn? So it'd be a 4/4. They block here, go up to 9. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess they would also take... No, they would just trade here. But it would be a trade. Yeah, I mean, I guess I think just like 1 counter every turn is probably better than the average draw here. Not by a ton. I didn't have that Spellbomb either. Spellbomb was so good here. They do get the Shadow Spear. But they also have Shieldred. Okay, so I'm at 18. I think I'm just gonna send with everybody here. Close my eyes. Oh wait, it's lethal. Math for blockers, but it's lethal. Let's fucking go. Woo! GG selfie. Thanks again, Luminous. Okay, we already did a trophy prediction. First league on the day. I'm gonna keep. Would love to be on the play. I don't think you can send this one back. My opponent's on the 6. Yeah, we're 4-0. Hope to not get Dauthi Voidwalker, I guess. Okay, you play your 1 mana 2/1. I have a 1 mana 2/1. Sister Supplier would be a great draw. Opponent with the old upkeep pause. Okay. Our league Swiss. No, so you're in a pool right now of 1,100 players, and you play against people that have similar records if possible. If no one's available, you play against someone with a different record. Just whoever is ready to play. Ray with the 10 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Got our Magic Online rewards packs. Crack them. Open to roots. Okay, my opponent is Evoking Grief. This is bad. What are those packs for? If you play a certain amount a month, you get some free cards, and they're basically never worth anything. Someone's got one card in their hand after this, so I guess we're just kind of hoping that our priest takes over the game. What if they'll cast the Gravecrawler or not? I'm not sure if I'm hoping for them to or not either. Yeah, Thunder Junction looks kind of crazy. They used to give you basic lands. Yeah, people always complain about the basic lands, but the basic lands are literally the best. I was the most happy to get like cool basic land arts instead of just like random commons on commons. Are the unopened ones still worth? Are unopened is still worth more than the open ones? I don't think so. I wouldn't worry too much about them. They're just like a nice little serotonin spike once a month. Okay, my opponent's taken 2 turns and 3 minutes. I've taken 2 turns and 14 seconds. Let's go. Oh, it's playing too fast though. For some reason, my brain for a moment was like, "Oh, Bowmaster." Have a Surveil land? No Surveil land. Rakdos players, you should play a Surveil land. My opponent might be. I'm just saying in general. They also do have Bowmasters though. But if they have Bowmasters, we still should be attacking. So we're hoping to draw a zombie. The priest is probably gonna be a little too slow to take over here. If we went like Supplier into like mill over Vengevine, that might get the job done. I played 2, 1 was enough. Yeah, at least 1. Some people don't play any. 2 sounds good. They do cast the Vengevine. Okay, feeling like we're probably gonna have to go to sideboard game here. Opponent about to use 5 minutes to my 16 seconds. Decides to play their land. Okay, Cauldron gives me some kind of reasonable blocks. Carson's analysis of Surreal lands pretty interesting. On average, you should err on the side of playing more rather than few. I didn't read the full article, but I also just agree. I've been playing a lot of Surveil lands, and I agree you should play a bunch of them. I wasn't really thinking about Cauldron as a top deck, but I'm feeling pretty bailed out at the moment. I don't know. Yeah, they can only really attack with this Grief super well. My life total is not the highest. So let's Surveil. Maybe they could have attacked with more. Yeah, if I draw a zombie, I can cast that. Or get that back. Yeah, if I draw a zombie, I'm actually, like, specifically Stitcher Supplier. Or Lotleth Troll, I'm in pretty good shape. Drew another Vengevine. In fact, not a zombie. So we go Fetch Shock down to 3. Down to 2. Ugh, down to 2. Play Vengevine. I can double block Grief, ping, ping, die. Okay. Yeah, I need a zombie there. Or a Seed of Hope would have been really nice into zombie. Okay. I'm gonna bring in Pick Your Poison when they might have Leyline and Totem. Can ping your Bloodghast. Ping my Bloodghast, get it back. I mean, does that help? I don't know how much that helps me though, right? I think I should still be dead. We try building a Risen Reef Vengevine deck. I built it. I played Shaman Elementals a long time ago with Vengevines and like Seasoned Pyromancers and Rage Forgers and like Elemental Synergies, but I don't think I've ever also played Risen Reef. Maybe should have played Risen Reef. Croaky's Explorer Omnath deck was wrecking the challenge with this weekend. Wow. Yeah, the Nissa Aftermath analysis, spelunking, World Souls Rage Shell looks really cool. Yeah, it looks sick. I don't know. It's in. I'm just trying to think how it would compare to regular Pioneer, but to say. All right, playing for the trophy. Down a game. Mold to 5. No lands, no lands. Pretty forced mold to 5, unfortunately. My opponent has kept 7, and they put Leyline into play, gamers. It ain't looking good. Being Bloodghast, bring it back. Double Blood Grief. Ping something else. Activate Priest. Yeah, that's not enough. If Bloodghast could block, it'd be a bit more reasonable. I'm not giving up yet. Mulligans weren't even interesting, you know, just no lands, no lands. Go, Carrion Feeder. You got 17 more turns of attacking to do. Maybe my opponent will try to grief scam me, not realizing I can Cauldron. Copium. Yeah, Fable. So now even if I draw Pick Your Poison, I can't get rid of the Leyline. Imagine me putting this Vengevine in the yard for value here. So I think I just try to draw something else. So sad. 2 mana draw 2 if we've committed a crime. So you go Bobble, Seize the Secrets, 2 mana draw 2. 2 mana draw 2 is pretty good. Dude, my opponent played Force of Despair to get rid of my Gravecrawler. Pitching a Terminate? We're cooked, dude. Discard only a Thoughtseize. I've definitely won some low resource games against Scam. I don't think this is going to be one of them, unfortunately. I did miss my sacrifice on the Force of Despair because I was looking at something, I suppose. If I draw a brick, we'll concede. I don't know. Let's pack it in. Let's pack it in. Tough trophy match still. Good start to today. Let's go ahead and just run it back.